А, у нас оттуда установить.
Last night there was a hit at Gazprom's metering station belonging to the Druzhba gas pipeline in Sudzha. It could be a bit troublesome with natural gas exports to the west in the future, with this facility out of action. Videos of a fireball rising into the sky at a recently closed gas pumping and metering station in the town of Sudzha in Russia's Kursk Oblast were posted by Russian and Ukrainian telegram channels shortly after midnight. The Baza telegram channel wrote that the pipeline had been damaged. The station was the only point through which some 40 million cubic meters per day of Russian gas passed through Ukraine to Europe until a transit agreement expired on January 1st. The second transit point, the Sol-Ranivka gas interconnector, was closed in 2022. Sudzha was one of the first towns captured by Ukrainian forces in last August's mass cross-border incursion. Russian forces claimed to have retaken control of it last week. The Ukrainian General Staff announced this morning that the gas pipeline in Sudzha was shelled and blown up by the Russian side, not Ukraine. In other words, this is a Russian provocation. The Russian Federation is intensifying its discrediting campaign against Ukraine. For example, the enemy has accused our defense forces of shelling the Sudzha gas metering station. These accusations are groundless. Yes, the station in question has been repeatedly shelled by the Russians themselves. In particular, last summer it was bombed by guided aerial bombs, and 3 days ago the Russians again struck it with KABs. Today, the enemy has already intensified its planned destructive information influence with another provocation. It shelled this facility with artillery. It is worth adding that earlier the Russian troops used the main gas pipeline pipe for the covert movement of their units. Russian telegram channels report a new detonation at Kavkazskaya oil pumping station in Krasnodar region of Russia. The fire there continues.
Взорвалась вся база. Все горит. Очень страшно.
Soldiers of the Art Division unit of the Timur Special Forces of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine are good with the M777 howitzer. The US M777 howitzer has been a game-changer for Ukraine's artillery forces. Delivered by the United States and allied nations, the 155mm towed howitzer provides long-range, high-precision firepower, allowing Ukrainian forces to strike Russian positions, supply lines, and fortifications from a safe distance. One of its key advantages is its compatibility with GPS-guided Excalibur shells, which enable pinpoint accuracy and minimize ammunition waste. The M777's mobility also plays a crucial role as it can be quickly repositioned using trucks to evade Russian counter-battery fire. The howitzer has been heavily used in Donetsk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia, where Ukraine relies on artillery duels to weaken Russian advances. EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Kaja Kallas, considers it a realistic plan to first agree on €5 billion in ammunition for Ukraine.
We also know that there are really worries with the budget deficits in most of the European countries, and there are the problems. And now in the rearm initiative, we also have, the rules in place to ease the budget regulations. So it would provide also the member states more opportunities to do more. But still, the questions remain. And of course, for every country. It is the domestic politics, also the understanding of the public, what needs to be done, and that is different in every member state. It's important to have a tangible result. So if we are not able to decide right now for the whole year that is coming, let's decide on the short term, which is the imminent needs that Ukraine has regarding the ammunition right now. The realistic plan would be the 5 billion for the ammunition, and that's what we are working on really right now.
Prime Minister of Norway Jonas Gahr Støre during a joint press conference with President Zelensky about the help for Ukraine.
And let me just say that the tripling of Norwegian defense support to Ukraine, which has been agreed by unanimous parliament, is now being immediately translated into support for artillery ammunition, for drone capacity, and also for investment in Ukraine's own industry. So, Mr. President, this is a partnership that we take forward every day, and you can count on that support. It is the right of a sovereign country to resist aggression, and you have our full support in that.
The Pentagon has selected Boeing's project in the Next Generation Air Dominance competition to develop a promising sixth-generation fighter, designated the F-47. This announcement was made by U.S. President Donald Trump during a live broadcast. Boeing's fighter project surpassed its competitor, Lockheed Martin, which had previously won contracts for two earlier generation fighters, the F-22 and F-35. The Pentagon will award Boeing a contract to develop the F-47 under the NGAD program, investing over $20 billion in the development and production of the aircraft. The NGAD program aims to replace the F-22 Raptor fleet with a manned aircraft capable of conducting combat operations in close cooperation with drones. The details of Boeing's new aircraft's design and specifications remain confidential, but it is expected to feature advanced stealth technology, cutting-edge sensors, and a new engine. Pentagon was exploring ways to reduce the cost of the fighter under the NGAD program. The cost could be lowered by sacrificing range and payload, though this approach would likely require the aircraft to work in tandem with the now-canceled NGAS stealth tanker aircraft. Therefore, this strategy seems unlikely. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall told reporters that the price limit for the aircraft would be comparable to the cost of the F-35, with the most expensive models priced at around $100 million. "We haven't set any specific price threshold," he said, adding, "I'll just tell you this from what I can remember. The F-35 is the upper limit of what we're willing to pay. The sixth-generation fighter, which will replace the F-22 Raptor, will be designated the F-47, Trump said. It will have state-of-the-art stealth technologies making it virtually unseeable, and will fly alongside multiple autonomous drone wingmen known as collaborative combat aircraft."
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.